Hi folks, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm here to talk to you about multi-purpose knives, utility knives, Stanley knives. You kind of know the thing that I'm talking about. The things that take replaceable blades that look like. So this has been a long journey for me, and there are various parameters that I need from a utility knife. I work in quite wet conditions, so one of the main conditions is it doesn't have too many moving parts. So the old Stanley knives, which had a push and slide mechanism, it was just there was just too many moving parts, and those internal parts would always rust and jam, and it would just be a nightmare. So my first port of call, I've been with this style of Stanley knife for a long time because they're very similar to the dolphin knives that carpet fitters use. And what it has is it's a fixed blade. It's a very simple blade change operation. So you just turn the locking screw, you lift her open, and then this was another brilliant thing about this knife was, un momento, you could store blades. You could store blades in the belly of the knife, and then obviously when you need to change the blade, you just take one out, pop it in, do up the locking screw, and away you go. Now another thing that I really liked about this knife was it really has lots of grip to it, so you can really put a lot of force into the cut if you need to. Now the problem with this particular knife is this locking nut was as you push down, you always, or I always inadvertently would loosen the screw, and I'd just be forever doing this up. So that was a problem for me. Another problem with this knife is it's not an EDC, it's not an everyday carry object. It's something that would need to go in a holster like this, which would go on your belt, and then after you finish with your knife, you would drop it into the holster. Now, the amount of times I've dropped this into the holster and it hasn't dropped into the holster because I haven't been looking, and it's dropped onto the floor near my beautiful tootsies. So it's not the safest of setups, and it's quite big and bulky. But that was my first port of call. I used these knives for many years until I was working with a chap who had an EDC, an everyday carry knife, in his pocket. It was made by Faithful, and it was always available. It was always in his pocket. It was always closed. It was always locked in the same fashion as this Bessie. But it had many moving parts on it. I haven't got one of the Faithful ones here. It had many moving parts to it. The opening mechanism was quite a kerfuffle, and it was always kind of going wrong. It was always a little bit faulty, and then the final thing was it was very thin, so to try and grip it was just it was really uncomfortable to work with. So you know, if you're kind of cutting deep into plasterboard, it just really wasn't very comfortable on your hand. It would kind of cut into your hand, not the blade, but the body of it. So I kind of discounted that, and then whilst I was in a shop near St Austell, West Country Woodworking Tools, I think they're called, brilliant shop, they had this Bessie knife, and I fell in love with it instantly because it did a few things differently. So this is the Bessie knife. So it kind of ticked a lot of the boxes for me, because you could store blades inside the belly of the beast. It had quite a thick body so that you could grip onto it, and it was quite easy to open and close. So it It would open and lock, and then you push on this back and it would close like so. And then inside you could store replacement blades, and that was onto a magnetic holder inside. And all in all, it was a very nice design. The two things I didn't like about this were the blade change mechanism. Now it's worked very successfully, but again, there's far too many moving parts for me in my wet trade land. So there we go. So that's the Bessie knife, and it used to have, so it's got sort of nice contours here. See, my finger's still messed up, and it had a rubber button on the top to push down onto when you're cutting. A really nice knife. I'd highly recommend it. So that is the Bessie. Now another thing that Bessie also do one which has got wood inlays, which is just it's got a really nice belt clip on it as well. But the Bessie do one with a wooden inlay, and everyone's slightly different. And I bought 5 of them over the years, all for myself, and I've given them all away because they're just such a beautiful knife to have. They're much thinner, a wooden inlay, similar mechanism, but they're really just a nice thing. But anyway, I've had this Bessie for many years, and she's still going strong. Now, this is just a little Bobby Dazzler. It's a Gerber knife, and I just love the simplicity and the design of this knife. It really is just a really cute little knife, but it's not very practical. You need, if you want to change the blade, you need to use a screwdriver to undo this grub screw. Whoop, now you see, there you go, grub screw lost. Look, everything's getting fresh blades today, if I can get them out. There we go. These sharp blades, I've just cut myself. So obviously you see the problem with that. Eventually that grub screw is going to be lost, like the ring in the Lord of the Rings, and then that will be the end of the Gerber. But and another thing I don't like about it is it's really very, very small. But oh, I'm bleeding. It's just a very, very nice knife, but impractical. And then on my quest to find the perfect knife, I found the Milwaukee Fastback, which is just as close as perfect as you're going to get to a knife. Now every time I do this I feel like Sting in Quadrophenia. See how quick it is to open and close. So it has a button here. You push this button and it releases the lock and you can close it. So it's really quick to operate. It's instantaneous. So in the realms of saving time on the workplace, it's an EDC. It's small enough to have in your pocket or with the belt clip on your belt. It's made of, I think it's made of an anodized aluminium by the feel of it. But it will be in your pocket. You can get, say you're holding something up and you need a knife quickly, you can reach in your pocket or off your belt, cut, close, back in the pocket. It's just, for time saving, for practicality, it's absolutely brilliant. Now also on it you've got a cable stripper or a cable cutter, which is here. I don't know whether you can see that. So when the knife is closed, let me open it. You see the blade closes down and then creates this, it's either a sort of package cutter, and finally, which is one of my requirements for a Stanley knife, utility knife, you push this lever here, you slide the blade in and it's locked. So it's really easy to get the blade in and out. And finally you have a space in here space in the belly of the beast to store replacement blades. How many can I get in there? 4. There we go. So you've always got 4 blades. The best knife I've ever found. So yeah, that's the Milwaukee Fastback. They do another one which has got, it's got a bit holder on the end, which you can put screwdriver bits in and use it as a screwdriver. But really, I mean, if you want a screwdriver, get a screwdriver. It's not what I need in a knife. What I need in a knife is speed. So if I'm cutting roofing felt, visqueen, vapor barrier, plasterboard, I need it in my pocket. Another thing that I really like about this knife is the way you can grip it. So it's got a really, it's got a finger slot at the front, and then it's kind of contoured, another one here, and it's kind of contoured at the back, and you can really put some force into this knife when you're cutting. Just all round, fantastic knife, really highly recommend it. So far I've not found one better. Okay, so thanks for watching. Oh, before we do this bit, so one thing about these utility knives, these Stanley knives, is they're only as good as the blades that you put in them. So I was sick and tired of buying the cheaper Stanley knife blades that are available in most of the shops that I go to around here. You can pay more for, say, the Irwin blades, and they're absolutely superb. These Irwin blades. But they're very expensive. I think they're about 40 quid for 100, which is just ridiculous. But they're better than using the Stanley ones, because the Stanley ones, after a couple of cuts, they go blunt and they shatter really easily. So it was just so frustrating. So a friend of mine, Tim Cook, he said, have a look on floor fitters, carpet fitters websites, and look for a company called Sweeney Todd Blades. Now I'm not affiliated with these guys. Can you see that there? Sweeney Todd Blades. I'm not sponsored by them. I'm just giving you this as a top tip. These are as good as the Irwin, if not better. They're made in Germany. They just go on and on and on. And I think these were about £17 for 100. So they're probably cheaper than the Stanley, but they're better than the Irwin, which are almost double in price. And they come in these little packs, handy packs of 10. I think there's 10 in each box. So yeah, so top tip for you. These ones are from a company called Floor Fit. Highly recommended. Sweeney Todd Blades. Much cheaper, much better quality, made in Germany. They just stay sharp. Okay folks, thanks for watching. If you could please subscribe to my channel, that would be awesome. I need subscribers so that I can continue doing what I'm doing and trying to help you get the best tools that you can possibly get for your money. So yeah, if you could please subscribe, if you could like, if you could leave a comment down below, even if you think it's rubbish, leave me a comment. I like that. And and share, tell all your friends, but most importantly, if you could please subscribe, that would be awesome. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on Tool Porn with Kismet Construction. Ciao.